Understanding my own emotions has been essential for me to be able to protect myself, be able to protect my heart. And in order to do this, to understand my emotions, that is, I spent much time sitting and understanding why it is that I felt the way that I felt, and even now, why I feel the way that I feel. This can be very challenging when you're having an emotional charge that is extremely negative, extremely debilitating in a sense. When your emotions are rooted in trauma, when your emotions are rooted in places that are hard to look at naturally, it would make sense that you're not responding in ways that are healthy for you or are safe for you, healthy for your environment, the people around you. So, as to be creating a reaction as opposed to a response. And I think it's safe to say that anybody who has experienced depression or has assisted anybody in experiencing this, you will come into contact with all sorts of things, all sorts of responses and reactions. So differentiating those two things throughout your experience. Learning how to respond as opposed to how to react. But whether I was responding or whether I was reacting, I've always understood. I've created a foundation for myself as to understand myself, understand my heart, understand my values. When you are learning something, whether it be about yourself or you're just gathering information from a video like this one or reading a book or whatever, this is valuable, right? To understand yourself is valuable. To learn something new about yourself, others, valuable information. Insofar as you deem it so. Although this is not the solution. Understanding the information is not the solution. You must be able to apply it, and you must be able to apply it properly. So you could be very well versed in trauma responses, and you can be well versed in, attachment styles and all different kinds of things in this arena. But if you yourself are not applying the information, if you yourself are just a library, we'll say, of information, the necessary changes to shift out of a reaction mode may not occur. You might become somewhat skilled at navigating, although when we're addressing root causes to really challenging emotions, there is a deeper inner work that must be done, and patterns that not only must be addressed, acknowledged, but also shifted. I'm all about shifting these things in a way that is more pleasurable, in a way that is not so painful. I care about palliative care, qualitative palliative care, which is pain relief. Sometimes understanding yourself on a deeper level, or let's say me, myself, understanding the nature of why I have these emotions, why I feel empowered in responding or even reacting in the way that I do, has made the experience that much more painful, that much more harder to face. And one of the main reasons why is because although I was understanding myself, like I said, I was not understanding exactly how to apply the information that is my deeper understanding of myself in such a way as to address certain aspects of what I was facing. This is where assistance can be very helpful, where you may seek guidance from beings who are skilled at navigating these things or helping you find ways to apply the knowledge in practical ways, in ways that can really help you shift or break these patterns of behavior, which have momentum, a lot of momentum for some of us. So this is to say, it is not enough to simply understand. You must apply. Understanding yourself, gathering information, can lead you to this way of being. And it could make the process more seamless. It can make the process make sense, right? Because if you're not aware of yourself, then this door will likely not open in such an apparent way. It might open in a different way. I think there's many paths to healing, so I would never want to limit anyone's experience and how that might play out. When you are experiencing a pattern, or you are some sort of trauma is surfacing in your life, it is so easy to get into a self-defeatist attitude. It is so easy to feel unworthy. It is so easy to feel as though you are backtracking, especially if you are somebody who is aspiring to excel and to move forward, and who is ultimately desiring, truly in your heart, desiring to move forward in life with a positive attitude, with a more optimistic attitude. As challenging as it might be, as many challenges you have faced, still wanting to stand up after the 1000th time of falling. And more often than not, our thoughts are playing out negatively without our awareness.
Hi.
This self-defeatist attitude, this guilt, this shame that you might feel
shoot up at me.
often arises from not understanding yourself. So although it is valuable to apply the information accurately as to shift the pattern, understanding yourself will protect your heart, will protect your soul, where you're coming from, those aspects of you that you value and that are so valuable, that being that has been shaped from these hardships and from rising above them, or from being blessed enough to come out and have the opportunity to continue to live life. It is not your fault to have gone through things in your life when you're vulnerable, when you're supposed to be protected, when you're supposed to be loved, when you're supposed to be cared for, just how you yourself would do for another or for yourself. It is not your fault to respond in a particular way naturally, or to react in a particular way, but it is your responsibility to make changes, lasting changes. Not only for the sake of yourself, but for the sake of the people that you love. It must be abundantly clear that there is a reason why you feel the way you feel. And this is for you. This is not for anybody else. These are things that you will understand for yourself, that you must value. Or at the very least, you must not undervalue. You must not ignore these things about yourself, these things that you will come to understand when you eradicate the thought process that undermines you, that dismisses you, that diminishes your value. For the simple reason that you reacted or responded in a way that would make sense. It makes sense to respond poorly when you are being treated poorly. What does not make sense is to pretend like there is nothing wrong. Is to act as if there is nothing wrong. And beyond, to act as if there's nothing wrong with mistreatment, to ignore it, and even beyond this, to to not even be aware enough, to have not taken the time to honor yourself up until the point that you actually feel bad. That you feel it is okay. That you are accepting of something that you do not deserve. This is self-betrayal. I am in no way saying that it is okay to persist in poor behaviors that you know you must correct. But what I am saying is that there is a reason, and it is up to you to understand why these things matter to you. For example, why is it that this particular thing makes you angry? Well, there must be an opposite to it. There must be something that you value in its opposite. Something that you stand by, something that you honor and that you truly respect. What is that thing? What is that opposite that matters to you? Focus here. Focus on that. Hold on to that. Understand it. Love it. Breathe life into this. And as you do, accepting your current position will become easier. This is like your light at the end of the tunnel. And with that awareness, know that there's work to do. There's deeper understandings to be had and to take action upon. This action might not be so outwardly apparent. This action might actually be learning how to sit with some sort of feeling. Learning how to walk away. Learning how to speak. Learning how to listen. Never allow yourself to go into this self-defeatist attitude as if you don't know very well where your heart is at. This might not feel fully resonant to everyone watching this. You very well may be somebody who has been convinced that you are unworthy, taught, programmed to believe wholeheartedly that you are worthy of being silenced, worthy of being ignored. This is not true. So before you can even get to this step, there's going to have to be some level of addressing in that sense. Some level of awareness and understanding in that sense. And more often than not, insights, revelations may come when you take the time to sit with yourself in silence. Sit with yourself in a space that is safe. So again, take the information that I've shared with you here and go forth. Go forth with the understanding that you must apply something. And there will be things, practices that you can apply for your specific situation that will serve you best now. What works for one person is not going to work for everybody. Take the time to sit with yourself to understand what will serve you best. And when you seek guidance, whether it be from a professional or a friend, make sure that you take that time beforehand. Make sure that you are using your discernment, your valuable discernment and awareness of yourself and who you are and what you value before you accept the guidance. You must be sure that you are being guided appropriately. So I trust that that was helpful, and I appreciate you guys for watching.